Happy Tuesday, Tier List Tuesday. This is Back of the Net. I'm Sam Davis.
I'm Tom Jordan.
There's nothing better than spending time with you talking football, mate.
Oh, thank you.
And I mean that.
Oh, I appreciate it. I thought you were going to say nothing better than the tier list.
Cheers, bud.
Which I also agree with, but yeah, cheers.
We're at the Pear at Parley. Come and check this place out. Go to their website. The link is in the description below.
Might see Brooksy.
Might see Brooksy. Beautiful food, exquisite scenes. I mean, this garden is just beautiful.
Nice.
And yeah, really lovely place to take your family. Rain or shine, come and check it out in West Parley on Christchurch Road. Beautiful place to be. Another beautiful place to be is being a Bournemouth fan in the Premier League, mate. And look, how excited are we to be visiting the teams that we're playing? Now, heads up, if you're a Premier League fan and you're watching this, we do go to every game. So there may be some tiers where it suggests that we aren't going to go. We are going to go. However, we'll go through the tiers very, very shortly. But at this point, why not subscribe to our channel? Because we do Matchday vlogs, so when we do play you, there'll be a detailed Matchday vlog, but also we'll be doing an away day review, won't we, Tom? Where we talk about all sorts of things.
Yeah, we're not sure if we're still talking about whether we're going to, maybe mix up the categories a little bit from last season, but you can look back and see kind of the vibe that we had on them. And like you say, because we went to all the away games, it was good to just kind of review all different parts of an away day, wasn't it? Obviously the stadium itself, surrounding areas, all that stuff, all the facilities, etc., etc. So now it's kind of about, what do we think it's going to be like? It's quite good for us because then we can revert back and go, oh, we were wrong actually. Yeah. We thought it wasn't going to be that good and it was a really good time. So yeah, and nice because we've got a whole variety of new stadiums, mate, that we didn't go to last season.
When I think about it, we're actually really lucky being a small club and, because we do have a relatively good away day following for the amount of supporters that we've got, but invariably, we can pretty much go to every away game. But I've just seen a tweet last week from Aston Villa saying, our allocation for AFC Bournemouth at the start of next season is going to be 1,300 and something. And you saw, it was quote tweeted, the replies. Yeah, they were like, you need to get a bigger stadium, which is good for us because it's fueled that video once again.
Bring it on.
And it's hard, but it's quite good for us. So we've got the perfect opportunity to review every single club, and we're going to be doing that, but we're also going to be anticipating it right now in our tier list, Tom. And look, the tier list is in front of us here. Can you talk me through what it's all about, mate?
Yeah, so right at the top we've got always a banger. So that's basically saying been there before, always class.
It's always a good away
always
day.
A great away day, gives you everything you want from an away day and expecting the same.
Yeah.
Category below that, it should be decent, so expecting good things. Not quite in that banger category, but looking forward to it. It should be a good away day.
Yeah.
In the middle, mixed feelings. It might be because of previous experiences we've had.
Yeah.
It might be because we're just still a little bit unsure, a bit uncertain of what we're going to get out of it, and it might literally depend about what you see on the pitch.
Are we put in the football, like for instance, Manchester City, we've always got absolutely bollocked there. Does that come into it? I suppose it's got to in some ways.
It's got to a little bit, but we'll try and keep it as best we can as kind of off-the-field stuff. Because let's be real, we're probably going to lose more away games than we win.
Yeah.
If we do, then it'll be an unbelievable season. So yeah, we're not expecting to be brilliant. But the middle category is one of them that could go either way. And of course, that could depend on the result. But yeah, it's just that uncertainty really with the middle category.
Yeah, and what's this? Ugh, I'll be there. What does that mean?
That kind of means I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of this away day really. It's one I'm not really looking forward to. But of course, I'll be there.
Of course you will.
And never know, it might surprise us.
Yeah.
And then right at the bottom is called stay on the sofa. Obviously, we won't be staying on the sofa, but it's one that I could really do without.
Right.
Yeah, so. Whether that's because of the travel, the stadium itself, we'll go into it. But hopefully there won't be too many on that one, mate.
Right, what we're going to do is do it in a random order, and I'm just going to throw them at you, mate. First one I'm going to hover my mouse over is Everton.
Ooh.
Everton, Goodison Park. Won't be playing there for that much longer with Bramley Moor dock being developed, but Everton, mate, away day.
How quickly are they going to have? Do you know anything about when?
I think in a couple of seasons' time they'll be playing.
That's a shame because I thought we could potentially have been the last because we got them on the last day. But probably that would be a little bit too premature. But Everton, obviously city-wise and stuff. Obviously Everton being by Liverpool, obviously, and it's really nice surrounded areas. Cracking night out. So all that good stuff. So it's always going to score highly because of that.
What's it like for a view and all that?
The stadium itself's not bad. Yeah, decent. And I think Everton, to be fair to them, always try and get a decent atmosphere going as well.
Fans all right, fans friendly and all that.
Always thought so. I remember when I first went to Liverpool and Everton. Actually, it's kind of that. Outsiders and all that, but lovely, absolutely lovely people. Really enjoyed it on both occasions. So Yeah, Everton, quite looking forward to it. I'm going to go should be decent for Everton, I think, mate.
Should be decent. Right, next. Nottingham Forest. Let's do them.
You know, why are you asking? They've got Hooters. This is the only time I'm ever going to put Forest up there, by the way.
And to be fair, even if you took that away, I thought
Still good,
that it was really good. I like where you sit in the stadium, or more to the point, stand. The city's actually really nice.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Tempted to. We didn't do a night out.
we didn't do a night out.
Was
but
it
I
like the
think
first
we
away
should.
game? It was,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
I think we should.
Tempted to it in Nottingham.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not far from the Jacksons. If you watch Channel, you know the Jacksons. They might be around for that. But yeah, what were the other? Can you remember off the top of your head? The other two, we went to a couple of pubs.
Ye Old Jerusalem.
They were
went
both
to that old
really
school
good.
one, and then the Canal House.
Yeah, both
where
really good.
Where there was an actual barge that goes through the pub, and then an actual. Yeah, that was really nice. By the way, you can say that there are teams that we're playing in midweek are sometimes not as good as weekend. Are we not taking the day of week that we've been scheduled?
I don't think it's fair to in the Premier League because I think things change so much.
I agree.
Everton's a difficult one because you know when that's going to be. It's the last day, so they've all got to play at the same time, etc. But apart from that, anything can move. So there could be ones that are midweek that then aren't, and vice versa with weekends. So I don't think it's fair to really. That will probably come into it when we eventually do the reviews, which will play a part. But it's so hard with the Premier League and the TV and stuff to put that into equation. Forest got to go over the top for me, mate, because I've been there a lot of times and I've always had a blast. Always. Either I've been there and we've lost and I've loved it. So, yeah, I love Forest for an away day.
Always a banger. Next.
Be a 6-pointer as well, probably.
Yeah, very true. Next, we're going to go Wolverhampton. Wolves.
Not a fan.
I've got mixed feelings on this based on previous experiences. Last time I went there was...
You went to the one I missed when we lost.
Freezing.
Yeah.
In December, I think it was like the 15th of December, I'll always remember that date. It was so cold, so cold. We lost 2-0, we didn't play very well, it was pissing down with rain. We took the coach that took ages, it just wasn't good, didn't do any pre-match pubs or anything. I've heard there are some nice pubs around. Yeah. The fans are friendly and all that, but on Twitter they've got delusions of grandeur quite a bit and they think they're a bigger club than they are. Of course they're bigger than us. But they also sort of think they're bigger than Man United sometimes and stuff. It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's a difficult one because I remember going there when in that Championship promotion season where we scored 2 late goals and won 2-1.
Arthur and Richie, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was absolute limbs, mate. But were you sat at the side rather than behind the goal?
No, because
they've
changed it, it was behind the goal to the left-hand side, but I know that they've had the lower tier sometimes as well.
Well, every time, I've only been twice and I was at the lower tier. On the side, and I hate that.
Yeah.
And they're above you. It's all right being on the side, but they're above you.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the best. And just nothing. It's actually, I think it's up there with Oldham as one of the coldest grounds because of the height of.
Yeah, above sea level.
Yeah. So everything about it's not brilliant, and also it's one of them. You never know. To be fair, we could get something out of it on the pitch, but it's a difficult game as well.
This sounds like a stay on the sofa jobby.
Is it that bad?
Well. Can you think of any others that will go in that category? Not that we have to fill it.
No, we don't have to fill it. Is it that bad? It might be, No.
Okay.
No, I'll be there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go. It's not too far. Yeah, I'm gonna go there.
Hello, Fulham fans. Love you. How you doing?
Here's our favourites.
Comment below. We haven't even spoken yet, but just comment anyway. Fulham Craven Cottage is going to have that new part of the new Riverside stand will be open. I think they're opening it in stages. Yep. It's going to bring their capacity up to around 30,000. Looks very impressive. And it's a train jobby. Yep. Going up on the train, which we all like.
Get a boat if we want.
Get the boat there, get the Uber boat to Putney. Why not?
Do I rattle them or do I?
No, don't.
No, I can't, of course not. I do like it. I mean, to be fair, it helps that not the last time, but the time before we absolutely spanked them 5-1, and that was a Friday night, and that was one of my favourite away games. I do like Fulham. I do like it. It's not that far. Like you say, you got that. I didn't like last time that it felt like you had to get there 3 hours before kick-off to have get in a pub because they all go. Now we're a bit busy. You can't come in.
Was it the 8 bells or something?
Yeah, just couldn't come in. I thought, oh come on, just squeeze a few in. But that's not Fulham's fault, I suppose. I quite like the stadium. To be fair. What's the situation with this neutral rubbish?
I think that's going to be a thing of the past.
I hope so, because that was a nightmare. We scored right at half time.
Yeah.
Well, just the kick-off, didn't we, in the second half? And I didn't have a clue who scored. I didn't know if it was us or them. But Annoyingly, I quite look forward to Fulham away.
Okay.
Should be decent. Going with Everton. I think they're both ones that I think I'm looking forward to them.
Right. Okay. Next, we're going to go to Old Trafford, Manchester United, largest stadium in England.
It's the bomb, isn't
it? Very good. Yeah. Harum scarum. Yeah.
I mean, we hadn't even got the opportunity of Ming standing on Ibrahimovic's head, so that loses it a little bit. I'm not a fan.
No.
I like Manchester as a city. I think it's not too bad.
Yeah.
You're probably, if you go on the pitch, you're probably going to lose. I mean, seeing Manchester lately, maybe not. Yeah. But it's just a bit. This is the thing I get sometimes. You spoke earlier about kind of Villa and their kind of, which I understand, moaning about their kind of allocation for coming to us. But I'm sure them and others, they just happen to have us opening day, will be the first to say grounds like Man United are soulless, and you get a lot of tourists and it's just filled up with all that. So, you can't have it both ways, and I'm not a mad fan. I think it's one of them. As soon as you've ticked it off, you've got to done Old Trafford, then you're kind of happy to never do it again. Obviously, we'll be there, and if we were to go to United and win, it's going to be a memorable one. But in terms of the actual away day, I'm not. It's not one I've looked at really. Even off the top of my head, I ain't got a clue when we got them, which says a lot.
Sometimes I find I like visiting the clubs that have got sort of tighter fan bases.
Yes.
For instance, Aston Villa. I know that, yes, appreciate that there will be some tourists that go there, but 95% of the people that go to Villa Park will be, truly behind their boys and will have supported Villa for a long time. Whereas you do get that feeling with Manchester United.
Yeah.
It's just you don't particularly, and also they're sometimes so big a club that they're above taking part in any banter with you, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I know what you mean, and don't get me wrong, they're a massive club with a massive stadium, so it's going to happen.
So are we.
Of course. But yeah, I love getting involved with a bit of banter and a bit of chat, and you just feel like I'm bantering someone that's probably not even a United fan, he's just down for the weekend, like coming to take a ground off, and one of them, they're not the only ones, but a little bit soulless, so I'm going to go in with the Wolves category. I'll be there.
I'll be there. Right, okay, next we're going to go to, let me see, West Ham United. Back to London Stadium.
Difficult one. We were very fortunate, I think, in the timing that we went up, that we managed to see that last season at Upton Park.
Yeah, big time.
And one of the most recent teams to win there. And that was great. And Upton Park, I mean, West Ham fans, if you're watching, we're just going to reiterate what I'm sure you all still say, and you've had more success recently, but you all loved Upton Park, and we did as well. It was unbelievable. I loved it, mate.
They're trying to reconfigure the London Stadium at the moment to bring fans a little bit closer to the pitch, but I still just feel as though the design of the stadium just means it's not close enough, and especially when you're an away fan. I mean, it can bring your binoculars sort of stuff. It's not.
And the fact that
not great.
They're a fan base that really get behind the team, and they really get an atmosphere going. So it's a real shame.
Oh my God,
them.
it's a massive shame.
And they're one of them fan base. So I think it's very difficult. Obviously, if you've got an actual rivalry of them, of course. That aside, I think they're a team that's difficult to dislike, because they've been punched above their weight for a few seasons. They've been in Europe, but they don't seem like they're that smug about it. They kind of have a bit of banter with themselves, so we're massive and all that stuff. But they kind of just enjoying it. They're bringing through some good youngsters. But
they're more likeable, actually, than I think sometimes.
I think they're really likeable.
When I think about it, they're actually quite likeable. And I think they've got the most season ticket holders out of any London club, I think.
Really?
Something like that.
Doesn't surprise me. But yeah, in terms of the new stadium, I wasn't a fan. I mean, afterwards, getting back to the train was an absolute nightmare. You're getting you're walking along with traffic light signals as you're walking. Yeah. It was a nightmare. So yeah, but it is London.
Yeah.
It is London, quite easy to get to. And yeah, it's not. I'm going to go right in the middle for this one. Mixed feelings. This is one that I'm kind of open to. I think this could be really not one of the best, but it could surprise me, I think. So I'll go mixed feelings. And there's a few West Ham fans I know that will be there that hopefully you can meet up with and have a good banter with, and they're a good fan base. So yeah, I'll go in the middle for them.
Going to stick in London with Arsenal now, going to the Emirates, and yeah, that's one of the ones I've been to. It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, it's very. I don't want to repeat myself with all the Manchester United things, but Arsenal, as much as probably similarly with Manchester United and be as good on the pitch, they're a massive worldwide football club, international, and they have a lot of tourists there. The stadium itself is. I actually went to Highbury back in the day with my old man, and that was brilliant. But the Emirates is, don't get me wrong, it is beautiful. It's an unbelievable stadium, and the facilities and that is absolutely amazing. But it's pretty soulless. It's pretty quiet. Obviously, they probably look at it and go, "Oh, it's only Bournemouth." I think they've beat us
true.
every time we've gone there. So so it's quite comfortable for them. So I appreciate that, but it's not one that I think this is going to be class. It's not horrific because the stadium is so nice to look at. It is good on the eye, but yeah, not one that I'm absolutely buzzing for. I'll go the same with Wolves and Man United. I think that's only fair. So I'll be there.
In terms of the pubs, I'm a bit. There's a pub that I really like going to. That's not one of the recommended ones. It's just it's called the Faltering Fullback, which is a rugby pub, Finsbury Parkway.
I went to one.
That's a good pub. It's a Fuller's pub, but it's brilliant. It's a rugby pub, but it's really good. Not many Bournemouth fans go there, which is what
I was going to say. I've never been there. I went. I haven't been there with you, and I went last time. And right by the stadium, it was on the corner.
Yeah, this one wasn't.
Oh, the time to get served, mate. It was unbelievable.
Well, we'll go to the Faltering Fullback, mate. You'll like it.
Yeah, you can barely. I mean, now that you've promoted it, for God's sake.
I think me and Lucy had a Nando's on the way back, mate.
Put it up, doors a bang. Yeah, that could change then. But when I went there, the away pub was just rammed and a nightmare.
Right, we're going to go on the south coast now to Brighton and Hove Albion at the Amex at Falmer, which is, it's got nothing near it. I mean, there's no pubs, you have to get a train there, there is a park and ride. It's a lovely stadium, but in terms of one I look forward to...
Yeah, it's one of them. I don't want to have a few pints and then have to travel. Do you know what I mean? We're nowhere near the stadium. Like, we have to go on another train or something.
One thing they do that's quite nice, though, is they keep the stadium open afterwards so fans can, mix in the concourse until about 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So you're not chucked out straight away. Similar that Spurs do that, I think, for their home fans as well. But for away fans, you can have a beer there and to watch whatever game's on. That's quite nice. But
I wasn't aware of that.
In terms of everything else, lovely facility, incredible facility, but
not too far, and not bad for a night out. Decent place. But in terms of the stadium things, I remember when I come out and you just all waiting for that train back, and you just mix with all the fans. It's a nightmare, and the police are having a nightmare. So.
You do have to realise that Jeff Hayward is watching, and Jeff Hayward, not many people know this, is a resident.
He is.
Yeah, one of his many houses.
Of course, yeah.
In Brighton, so I'm sure he's
going
to. Yeah, he's got one in Bournemouth. He's got one everywhere.
So because of that factor, it makes me think I'm looking forward to it. But I'd obviously you put Jeff in there, it's a banger.
Yeah. Especially if you're singing for the night.
So it's one of them. I'm like, and then I'm like, it's quite close. Night out's alright. Stadium. So I'm going to go bang in the middle. It feels very much what I feel about West Ham. So I think that's fair to go straight in the middle for Brighton.
Walk on with hope in your heart. We're doing Leicester next, mate. Leicester, the King Power Stadium. This is one I've not been to.
I like Leicester.
Yeah, you like you like the away day?
Yeah, I like Leicester. Yeah, I like Leicester. I've not got the best memory on the names of the pubs, and I know the name of the one I've been to. Wow. So that Counting House, I think it was called.
Okay.
They every table is themed around someone famous from Leicester.
Oh, nice.
So you could be sat at the Gary Lineker table, or I think it's Kasabian or whatever.
Yeah, I love that.
Which is cool. And nice vibe. Went there on, I think one of them was the last day of the season when we had our highest finish. So that was good atmosphere and stuff. Quite like it because it's a nice stadium. It's quite a big stadium because they've won the league not that so long ago either. Because they've been in Europe, they feel like a bigger club than they are. But the atmosphere's still there. There's no it's not that soulless side of it. So it's got a nice balance.
Have you seen the computer generated pictures of it? Because they're looking to expand it.
Right. Okay. No.
It looks so futuristic what they're going to do with it. But yeah, they want to increase it to something like 52,000, I think. Anyway, I don't know if that's happening, but it does look a nice stadium. There are a few identical ones, like St Mary's is one of them, but it always looks new. I don't know if they kind of repaint their seats every so often, but it looks pristine every time we see it. Yeah,
you're quite. You're at the side, which I'm never a massive fan of, but you're quite high up.
Okay.
You haven't got them above you, and then they're quite close to you. A good little bit of banter and stuff, but they're quite a decent atmosphere, I'd say. When I've been at Leicester anyway.
The clackers.
Yeah, they have had the clackers out for you, but then that fuels a bit of banter, so I don't mind it too much.
Get rid of the clackers. We've never had them.
No, we wouldn't do that. And do such a thing. We've never had hymn sheets on our seats. But I'm quite happy to. I ain't staying out. I've been to Leicester on a night out. Rank.
Yeah.
It is rank.
Oh, okay.
I ain't doing that again. That's awful. But something about Leicester away. I've had good experience there. I'm quite looking forward to it. So I'm putting it in. Should be decent.
There we go. Right. Okay. Southampton. it's difficult because we want to put them in somewhere, but then
I'm like, there's part of me that's like, come on, but that's just
it's such a like to any Premier League fans that don't watch,
it's the biggest.
It's the biggest rivalry on the South Coast.
Yeah,
it's massive.
I mean, it's monstrous.
They absolutely hate us. They did have this thing with Portsmouth ages ago. I think it's died down a little bit.
I asked Southampton fan the other day, and he said, it's Bournemouth.
Yeah, we got to travel up in our bubble. It's
They always go on about the fact that how big a rivalry it is with Bournemouth and not Portsmouth.
Yeah,
they always say that, don't
all
they?
The time.
They're never patronising about it.
Never.
No, they always say
and they never mention about. Once they played a friendly against us and maybe put a few pennies in some buckets or something.
Did they?
Apparently,
they should bring that up. They should say that they helped us and they quite like Liverpool Bournemouth. That's what they should say, but they don't for some reason. Weird, and it's one of them. I mean. Put it this way, Southampton have I think it's you can do it in certain categories, A, B, or you got like gold, silver, bronze.
Yeah.
They're, last time we played them, they had their gold category. So, Man City, Man U, Bournemouth. We were in their gold category. But, we're the ones that care. I do care. I'm not lying. I care. I want to go there and win.
Yeah.
Desperately.
Last time we did.
Yeah, of course. We didn't get relegated. But yeah, I want to go there and win. Yeah.
This was the shirt. This was the relegation shirt.
Yeah, it was. But no, listen, I'm looking forward to it. One, on the fact that there is an extra bit of spice, whether it's only our end, so be it. I know Southampton fans, and it's definitely louder when they play us. I don't know why, because they don't care, but it is, and it's always a good atmosphere. It always means a bit. It's so close that you can just. I mean, it takes me longer to get here sometimes than Southampton. It's so close, so that's always handy. We go in the Yates sometimes, and we normally get given the Yates. Sometimes it can be all right. Sometimes it can be a nightmare. Bit of both. So yeah, I am looking forward to it because it's so close. But then also, if you lose it,
I
hate it.
Yeah, it's not nice. And you're travelling back to your hometown
with Southampton
on
fans.
the train with Southampton fans
because they all live in Bournemouth.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I'm a bit like that, I'm going to go mixed feelings, I think.
Yeah.
Because on one hand, I'm really buzzing. On the other hand, I'm like, I don't need it. So yeah, we'll see.
Next, Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park.
Love it.
Do you?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. Jefferson Lerner scored an absolute banger there. I missed it. I was having a bit.
Yeah.
But I love. I genuinely think you could probably see it on the telly, to be fair. But Premier League, it's the best atmosphere I've seen. I was very fortunate.
They can be really loud, can't they?
It's definitely one. I don't want to give too many tips away, really, because it could bite me in the arse. But if you don't get near the front, you can't see.
Oh yeah,
you can't see.
You're looking through
a little gap.
Yeah.
And luckily, I was kind of given this tip, and I always made sure I was at the front, and then it's fine. But I know a few mates of mine were at the back, and it was a nightmare. But I just love the fact that they've got the little corner that really give it a good bit of atmosphere. Yeah. It's London. Not the best surrounding areas, but when you're in London, you're in London. You can get to where you want. So there's always pubs handy and stuff. Helps that I've had some decent away trips there where we've got a good result. But I like it. I quite like Palace as a club. I love that Zaha plays for him and he cries a lot, and it's a good bit of banter with them. And because I really love it, but then I'm thinking, am I being too nice to it just because it's got? But I do really, really like it. No, should be decent.
Yeah.
I'm close to banger though. That's one that wouldn't shock me if we end up going. That was unreal because I do love Palace away. But I think in my head, I don't know if you remember, we played them on the last day once. We got beat
5-3.
Yeah, Lerma banger, and it was last day, so it was all party time. And I'm thinking actually that was more because it was last day.
Yeah.
So I think it's not fair to just do that. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in should be decent.
Right, next.
Rank.
You know what? It's not great.
Oh, I've been there. I've been in the
yeah. I've been. Yeah.
I actually went. Ash, who's been on the channel, we managed to get to the last game of the season. It was Yaya Touré's last ever game, and got tickets through work or whatever. And I've gone there in the home end. I'm thinking this is the last game of the season. They've won the league. Yaya Touré's last game, send off, a legend. This is going to be unreal. I'm there. I've got a row in front of me. I can put my legs. No one around me. Right, just empty seats everywhere. It is dead as anything. There's no one in the stadium when Yaya Touré's. It was weird because I thought it was going to be a real carnival atmosphere.
It's almost like they've grown faster than their
potentially
as a club than their fan base can create babies.
Yeah, no, exactly. As I said when it went to Man United, I quite like Manchester. I think there's some really good parts of Manchester that you can have a
great night out.
Yeah, but it's a bit similar in that, and obviously on the pitch you're expecting a bit of a thumping, so that's not great. not one I'm looking forward to. It's one of them again. Once you've ticked it off, you kind of think, I've done City now. Don't really want to go back.
And obviously you've alluded to it. The results obviously don't help.
Yeah, well, we ain't got Glenn Murray to put one in now. He scored there last time. But yeah, are they the only team who never got a point off in the Premier League, I believe?
I mean, technically Brentford as well, but in the Premier League. But,
I'm going to have to be fair and go the same as United, mate. I don't want to cause any grief.
Really?
Yeah, why? What were you thinking?
Stay on safer, mate.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd stay on the safer.
You think it's lower?
Yeah.
Are you
going to put anyone else in there?
I might have one in mind. Actually, I don't. Yeah, I do have one in mind.
I would stay on the safer.
Up to you.
I'm going to do it, mate.
You're going to do it? Fine, you're the boss.
Because, I mean, what's redeeming about it? The fact that you're watching really good footballers, maybe for...
So are you saying that the only thing that divides the two Manchester clubs from a Bournemouth perspective is we've got more chance of getting something, potentially? And that's why it's... Because I can't see what else there would be. Or do you just think the stadium's a bit better?
I think...
Call his bluff.
Old Trafford, I think, is less soulless than the Etihad.
Yeah, no, fair. We'll see. But yeah, no, I'm happy with that, mate. It would have been in between them bottom two for sure. But yeah. No, I'm happy with that.
I'm actually thinking about that. Right, next. Leeds United.
And there it is.
What?
Oh, I stay on the sofa.
Really?
Oh yeah, I hate it.
Why?
Just hate it.
If you haven't watched the video, check out the card at the top of the screen. Tom's feelings are still obviously really raw. Why Bournemouth fans hate Leeds.
Yeah, I'm still reeling from that time I was in the womb. It was a year before I was born, actually. I'm trying to think, when did we play them? I probably was in the womb.
5th of May 1990.
Yeah, I would have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the womb, yeah. My old man was there, to be fair. But yeah.
You were raging.
I was fuming. My mum said it was a nightmare. She started having them, what they call the Braxton Hicks. Started having that when we played Leeds. But no, I've been there before. I hate it.
Not determined by the fact that Bournemouth haven't won there in, have we?
No, I don't think we ever didn't when I went there, but it's far. It's pretty crap up there. I know there's nice place Yorkshire, but where the football grounds are, it's horrible.
The actual night out in Leeds, all right, apparently.
I haven't done it. I'm not interested in doing it, to be honest. I'm just not. I don't like it, mate. I hate them.
So we gained a load of subscribers from that Leeds video, and now we've just lost them thanks to this guy. But you know what? We've got to look. The hatred is not as strong.
No, it's not. It's not. But now I'm thinking of an away day. I just don't want to go. I just don't want to go.
You know what? I agree.
If you said to me, this is what I'm thinking in my head. If you said to me, as a rule, you have to miss an away game this season, I'm missing Leeds.
Yeah. Without
question. Long trip. I've been there, so I've ticked it off. I think it's a tough place to go. I think, there's not that nice feeling amongst the fans. It feels, whether I'm right or wrong, and whether this is a personal thing, it feels there's that intimidation about it that I don't like. I don't feel great about walking around Leeds with a Bournemouth shirt on personally. That might be something that's historical, but that's just a personal opinion. Not a fan, mate.
Okay, stay on the sofa then. Right, next we're going to go to Chelsea, Stamford Bridge.
3 points. Easy win, isn't it, I suppose? Looking forward to the 3 points there. We always win at the Bridge. Always. I'm a bit worried if they get Ake. They're rumoured to be signing Ake.
God, really? No.
He normally scores there for the opposition. Difficult one, Chelsea. Oh, you got something to say?
Didn't they, under Frank Lampard, have the option of re-signing him?
Yeah, they could match.
And they didn't.
They didn't, but I think they might even be getting him for about the same price anyway.
Oh, really?
I'm not really sure what the situation is, but yeah, one of them. It's a difficult one because it's in London, but I always remember going to Chelsea, and I'm talking more. Give me a break. But speaking of beer, went there. I can't remember what the pub was called. The away pub went to in Chelsea, and I went with Jake. You know Jake. Yeah. And I think there was 4 of us. And we went there, we went out there, 4 pints of lager, whatever. Jake gave him 20 quid and they just waited. It was more. It was more than 20 quid, 4 pints of like Foster's. I was thinking, oh my God, we're in Chelsea, aren't we? Christ. So yeah, that was a nightmare. Stadium's not too bad, I quite like it. Yeah. Quite like it.
Shed End.
And obviously we've had limbs, mate. I've seen us win there a few times, which is mad. Got Mourinho the sack, I believe.
Yeah.
It's not the greatest atmosphere. You're in London. It's not bad. It's one of them could go either way, so I'm going to go straight down the middle. I think that's fair, mate. Yeah, I'm going to go mixed feelings.
Okay, next we're going to stay in London with Tottenham Hotspur, Been to the new stadium?
I have once.
We've only played there once, haven't we?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that the last 3 times I've been to Tottenham have been new stadium, Wembley, old stadium.
Oh, right, okay.
So every time I go there, it's a new ground.
Yeah.
It's not as not as good. I say obviously it's an unbelievable stadium to look at.
But the away concourse was quite cramped for how big the stadium is, I thought.
Yeah, no, agree. And for some reason they've got this. I mean, you can't polish a turd. I mean, I think the last time they won a trophy, the iPhone was getting brought out. And White Hart Lane, to be the atmosphere they got. We say about the bigger clubs. Yeah. If you ever want proof they're not one, it's because they've got a bloody good atmosphere. Yeah, You know, obviously, tongue in cheek, but their atmosphere at White Hart Lane was amazing. I love that about it. And it's probably similar to that West Ham. They won't want to be compared to West Ham, but from that stadium change, it's harder to build that same atmosphere.
But you also think that kind of raising themselves against
bigger opposition,
AFC Bournemouth,
of course,
it's the equivalent of when we play Boreham Wood, and then they go and win.
I'll take
but
that.
But like playing, when we play in the Carabao Cup against, say, Burton Albion or whatever. No disrespect intended, but that's a club that we've played previously in recent years. And
I'm sure when it's Tottenham Chelsea, it's absolutely bouncing.
Yeah,
I agree. I do agree with your point now, and I think that's the same with a lot of the bigger clubs. That kind of top 6, I guess. I think they're looking stronger than they have done for a lot of my lifetime, to be honest. Looks like they've just signed Richarlison as well, another one. Yeah. So they're looking strong, so it's one of them that I think I can't see us getting anything. Again, London, not too bad.
And you can have a pint served in seconds though, mate. That's, bottom filling pints and all that.
Yeah, last time I got it, didn't know what it was, pressed it, all come out. What's this? And it all come out, so I had to get another one. Don't get me wrong, the stadium, aesthetically, is that the way to say it? Is stunning. Nice. Stunning, and interestingly, ironically, similar to the Emirates at Arsenal, the two rivals, they're both beautiful to look at. But it is, I don't like to say it, but it is better than Arsenal in terms of atmosphere. Tottenham have got a better atmosphere, so I'm going to go in the middle. I think this could go either way. Another one in mixed feelings for me, mate.
Mixed
only been there once. So.
Feelings. All right, okay. 4 clubs left. We're going to do Aston Villa next. Aston Villa. Villa Park.
I do like Villa Park.
I like it as well.
Nice, isn't it?
I quite like it because I don't know, but I find that they're not a fan base. Obviously they want the best from their team, but they're not a fan base that expect too much. And they've had that little flirt with the Championship for a bit, but they're back in the Premier League now. They've got Steven Gerrard, seem to be doing pretty well, but I quite like their supporters, and they seem to be very grounded and not quite the kind of fan base that necessarily expects top 10.
Yeah, because I think when I started watching football, kind of in the 90s and stuff, you thought Villa were kind of one of them big 6, if not knocking on the door. And they've come, I think they become below Newcastle last season. Like, it wasn't unbelievable with Gerrard, but they still seem pretty positive about the direction they're going, which I quite like. As you say, they've got quite a likeable team, haven't they? Ollie Watkins is kind of a rising player, and they've got some good players. We've had a bit of banter over the years with the Mings thing, but and it doesn't look like he's probably one that Gerrard favours, to be honest. I know they've brought in a few centre halves, but they're like you say, they feel like they've got that character of being like a long stay Premier League. Like you say, they flirt with the Championship, but they're a big club without being a big club, if you know what I mean.
Very traditional as well. Yeah. They've been around for ages.
I've always liked,
in terms of being in the top flight.
I've always liked the surrounding areas. You've got good boozers up there.
Yeah.
If you want to have a night out around that sort of area, you can. I think the stadium's lovely.
Yeah.
And it's one of them that's got a good balance of being a good stadium, not top, but a really, really good stadium, but still having the atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean the whole end can produce that. It can produce some noise. My God.
I'm gonna hand this over because I don't know whether I go a banger or not. Do I put it in the top category? Because for me, it is better than all them indecent.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, I'm going to put it in a banger.
Yeah. Always a banger.
To be fair, I've always had a banger there. That's one that it might change, but I've always loved it.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
Right then, Liverpool, Anfield.
Difficult one.
Really difficult.
People, city, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Regardless of... Take football away for a second. If you said you can go anywhere, like in England, for just kind of the weekend, I love Liverpool as a city.
Yeah, because you've got a lot to do around
really
there.
Nice.
You're close to the Wirral.
Yeah, really nice.
The stadium's being redeveloped. I mean, the Anfield Road end's being expanded, so they're up in their capacity. So whether it's going to be the same experience for Bournemouth fans this season or not, I don't quite know. But the atmosphere, I feel, is at Liverpool seems to be, they seem to bottle it for European nights, and then they kind of, let loose the cork. And then when it's Champions League nights, that's when all the atmosphere comes out, and then they put it back in the bottle and they save it for a bit.
Yeah.
When teams like Bournemouth arrive, it's, yes, you'll never walk alone. Brilliant. And then
You don't hear anything.
not much.
Yeah.
We gave them something to worry about when we last played them there, just before COVID actually. Callum Wilson opening the scoring, and then we could have got an equalised that match. I think Fraser went close or whatever, but let's not talk about him. But so the stadium's quite nice, traditional. The night out's good. I mean,
it's one of them, isn't it?
I think it's between 2 and 3.
I agree. I think it's frustrating. You've touched on it. I think it's frustrating as a Bournemouth fan. You see them on these European nights or against United or whatever, and you watch it on the telly and you think, God, look at it in there. And then you go there and you can't help but have your expectations up there.
Yeah.
And then because they play a ball, if you realise, they don't really care because we're here, and it's not. And obviously, compliment to them. But if we get anything there, I'll be absolutely amazed. So. I'm just going to put it in the middle because I think I'm not quite sure yet, and because I love Liverpool as a city, love the night out, but don't really like the match in the stadium and the atmosphere itself.
Next, I mean, this is difficult. It's an unknown quantity. Brentford.
Really difficult.
Brand new stadium, not a million miles away from where Griffin Park used to be. Obviously, that was a stadium that
used to love that.
Went down in football folklore. Pub on every corner and all that. But this one, it's going to be different.
Yeah, it will, mate. I mean, I think the fact that it's a new stadium just excites you instantly anyway, of course. Not that far, always like going to Brentford. I think it's obviously going to be a big game. It's still going to be quite tight, and I feel like the atmosphere is going to be good. Yeah. I feel like there'll be a good little bit of spice added to that game. I feel like it could be a competitive one.
It's quite interesting this season. We've got, Bournemouth v Brentford, Bournemouth v Brighton, not long ago. These were like third-tier fixtures. Mad,
isn't it? Absolutely mad. And it's good to see, mate. Yeah. I mean, whether it's because it's from
even
a Bournemouth perspective,
as well,
but I like seeing it. God, you just put Fulham in that category. Just now, I like that.
I remember a 0-0 against Fulham at their place, and that was a third-tier fixture.
God, they're tiny, aren't they?
They were, and at that point, the end where we were, it was an open-ended terrace. But I'm talking like late 90s. But
considering they're in the lower leagues, they could have done with Mitrovic because that's when he scores goals, isn't it? In the lower leagues. I'm only joking. Brentford, looking forward to it. Quite local, be good, new stadium. I'm going to whack it and should be decent. But obviously a little bit open to interpretation. We'll see what happens, mate, because it is brand new.
Finally, Newcastle United, mate. I mean, I've got to say, this is going to be really weird, and I think I'm going to be like really emotional when we play them. I mean, are we going to them first, or are they coming to us first?
No, we're going to them early, September.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, September.
That, you know what? That is going to be so weird. So weird.
It is.
And I don't think Newcastle fans
realise.
I think how, because some fans on Twitter who are obviously so untrained, like will Bournemouth fans be booing Eddie?
No, I mean like.
Fuck off.
That's never going to happen. There's a certain player we may not like. I mean, he won't be in the squad anyway, so grow up. But
Callum Wilson's all right, mate.
Hey, and so's Richie. Yeah. I speak to a few Newcastle fans, and we've already spoke about potentially kind of doing shows with them, etc., because we've done bits when Eddie went there, and they've so quickly. And it's funny because I went on their podcast when Eddie was announced, a few podcasts.
Yes, you did, yeah.
And they said. So, they were talking to us. And I remember when I was going off, they said, we're a little bit more excited now after hearing, your glowing reference, blah, blah. And it took a few months. And then I got messages from them going, we know what you mean. We know what you mean.
Really?
And they love him. And they go, he makes me emotional when he speaks. They just love him already. And I go, yeah, you're feeling what I was feeling. Enjoy it. And, And,
brilliant.
Really, really pleased to see him doing it. But take that aside, mate. Newcastle, hell of a night out. Gee, can't wait. And I am pumped for the night out. Really good night out. Stadium... you might not see your players. You're a long way up as an away fan, but Newcastle fans are superb. I mean, I've played them when they have been, they've had Brucey and McLaren and stuff, and you think, they deserve better, and they've had Mike Ashley there.
And now they've got the
and they still, really, really get it going. So, I love going to Newcastle. Literally, the fact that it's far away is a bit annoying because it's our furthest trip, but we'll crash for the night. Yeah. It's right at the top for me.
If anyone's got any...
always a banger.
If anyone from Newcastle's watching and has got any accommodation, you can maybe give
Eddie.
to us.
No, Eddie's watching, isn't he?
Yeah, Eddie.
Can we crash for the night with Eddie?
Like, we'll sleep in your garage, it'll be fine.
Yeah, absolutely fine.
There we go then. That is our tier list. We're not going to put Bournemouth on it, but if you were going to put Bournemouth for an away day on it.
Thing is, I think it would be indecent because
of the seaside, the beautiful atmosphere.
Unbelievable. We've got sand on our beach, unlike Brighton.
If you've got a ticket, it's brilliant.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, you're down the south. You could have better weather. I think it's been voted as better nightlife than Ibiza a few years. Look at this. I mean, this is one of many pubs. Lovely place to go. But then you could also counteract it at a small stadium.
Yeah.
And
there's not many pubs around the stadium that are.
Yeah. It's more of them. If you're coming for a night out, it's going to be decent. If you're coming up and then going straight back, maybe not so much.
This is glorious today, mate.
But yes, absolutely. It is shining,
I've got the
mate.
baby oil, mate. So I might laugh at myself.
I'll give you a rub down in a minute. But yeah, it'll be really interesting when we go to these games how much I think I'm gonna do it now. Every time we go, I'm gonna go get that back up because I wanna see if I was like my thoughts were right.
Yeah.
But that's nice. It's a bit more.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to be more in the middle, but it's more top heavy, so that's always good.
Prove us wrong. If there are some ratings of your club and you disagree with them, let us know what we maybe should be doing for the weekend, what pubs we should be going to, what places we should be visiting, any tourist attractions that we might want to take note of. Because look, if you suggest them, we might go there and we'll add them to our away day review. And what we do is we go to every away match, review not what happened on the pitch, but everything around it, the stadium, the fans, the friendliness, the pubs around it, all the facility, all that kind of stuff. We might be mixing up, like you said. And we'll put it in a tier list. So hopefully, maybe we're right and it could be like this, but we don't know.
Hopefully, and as you say, we might be mixed. If you go back and watch last year's, there might be a few mixtures with the categories because a few kind of overrode others. But I think we've got to do something about the fan friendliness because a lot of the time when we were talking about it, we're going, they were really good to chat football with and really good. So I quite like that, and I think that would be one that's added to it. So be nice if you see us.
Would you fancy coming back here on Thursday, mate?
What are we doing?
Right, I've got this idea of a tier list where we're going to be reviewing the managers.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know this, right?
Yeah.
Which managers? I'm not saying we're struggling for ideas.
Okay.
Which managers would you perhaps have a beer with or not?
Oh, okay,
and
so
kind of rank
socialise
it,
with and
okay, yeah. Is that an idea?
That's an idea, yeah.
We'll sort something out and then we'll bring it to you on Thursday. But until then, have a bloody good week. Enjoy.
Oh, I'm already thinking about a pint of Eddie.
Up the chairs.